big microphone.
Because I get to be the teacher and point people out.
But isn't that rather pompous?
Yeah, a little bit. It's very pompous, actually. You can,
I mean, I can see myself here more than you. Can you? I just wanted to see if I could do it. He caved. You know what? This is pretentious, also. Yeah. No, wait. No. All right.
I'm in charge now.
Happy, happy, joy, joy. My favorite live-action drama. Will you shut up, you fool? Yes, I shall kill you.
I'm not going to ask any questions at all. Okay?
No, I picked the magic nose goblin. Greenpeace.
No. Bad joke. So what's happening since I last saw you? Anything cool?
Somebody had.
I think there's a new show coming back. It's an old show, but it's new now. Futurama is coming back.
What's all about?
Thank you. Yeah. I'm so thrilled. I've said this so many times before. Even if I had nothing to do with the show, I would have been a fan of it because of the writing. And what I can guarantee you, having recorded almost 26 new episodes, we're just about done. We've got 7 more to go.
Yeah, I know. You say that to all the boys.
We were just so thrilled that it came back, and the writers came back on fire. It's most of the same people, and same voice cast and everything, no matter what you heard. And, you know, we're adults now, and we had to fight over money. It doesn't matter if you're in art, or you're an artist, or whatever, you have to do that obscene little dance over money. And it could be like, he's not getting any more money. I don't care if it's $62, he's not gonna get any more. They pay more for toilet paper at Fox, you know? So, but anyway, I mean, they're producing it, and it's gonna be on Comedy Central. Wait, so my friends are here. It's my one friend left in the world, Phil LaMarr. Hey, you know my friend Phil? He does a lot more stuff than you think he does. No, I mean, seriously, I always wanted to point that up. I don't know if we ever really got the chance, but there's so many incidental characters, but you can't really call them that because they're in a lot of episodes, like the Preacher Bot.
Right. Well, on Futurama, they, frequently will just make every character show up in an episode. So we have to do all of our incidental characters all at once.
For the same money.
Oh, that's right. Has he been talking about money the entire time?
Come on, man, I gotta save some for my dotage. It's not far off, you know? I'm not gonna go fishing because I'm a vegan. I don't know what I'll do. I want to wind up like Groucho and save money for a personal nurse who will read poems to me under a tree while I lay on her lap and look up at her boobs. That's all I can do.
The Billy West retirement plan. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Get with it.
Hey, so, I'm Casey.
He's the moderator.
Oh!
Except that he has the big mature microphone and podium.
You know what? I feel naked up here as it is. So.
Yes,
You what?
I feel naked up here as it is.
Are you embarrassed?
A little bit.
Why? This ain't school.
It's the energy of all those eyeballs.
Yes, that's true.
I just know for a fact this first thing I say wrong, I'm just going to get hounded. So,
Really?
That being said,
I think you already said plenty.
Welcome to the internet.
Yeah, welcome to the internet.
you don't have anything nice to say, welcome to the internet.
So, yeah, I wanted to see if...
Is there a question before the floor?
No, I wanted to see if you would do some of the voices that maybe some people don't know you do other than the starring role you have.
Which one's the starring one? Oh, the fat Jamaican guy, right?
Yeah, him.
Well, now, if you want me to do voices, you got to fill out your forms. No, there's of course, yeah. Let's see. We got Preacher Bot. Whenever there's a episode with the robot devil, the Preacher Bot will not be far behind. Bubblegum Tape.
From the...
And the Galactic Globetrotters.
Yep.
Because they trot globes. Why just one?
Yeah,
I
but
trot
bet,
all the globes.
but I bet a lot of people didn't know that you do a lot of incidental voices on the show.
Yeah, well, John DiMaggio does most of the black voices. But
I refused. Unless they hire someone. See, you know.
But he will do black women's voices. That's weird.
I would like to ask this woman what she was doing in bed with her father.
Like
That's any talk show.
Every 3 episodes, Billy auditions for LaBarbara. It's like, Billy, we've already got Don Lewis doing it.
Yeah, I love LaBarbara.
I know.
I love that voice.
I'm not so crazy about
Barbados.
Barbados Slim.
That's Johnny DiMaggio that does Barbados Slim. He's
Look at these pectorals.
Yeah.
They move by themselves.
But I was telling these guys that we signed up for 26 episodes and we have like 7 more to record. I mean,
Yes.
now
Did
what
you-
do we do? White man.
What you mean we?
But it's like I was telling them that the writers came back on fire, because I think it's funnier now.
Absolutely. I mean, I was talking to somebody at the signing table yesterday. The new episodes, I don't know if it's because they don't have, Fox standards people looking over their shoulders, or just because they had time to sit with the ideas. But yeah, the scripts, some of them are really topical. They're taking the characters in new places, and it's also just funnier
Yes.
than it was, even in the original series.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, can we do that? Can we start talking about Futurama original series episode 4? Secondary series episode 3 was really a little long.
those questions I have a hard time with. It's like I don't memorize scripts. That's the beauty of being in cartoons, is you don't have to memorize shit. You just sit there and you got everything. I'm lazy. What can I tell you?
Has anybody noticed that if you go and ask like a voice guy, it's like, do you remember that episode? And he was like, no.
Well, they
I don't
illustrated.
remember it.
They illustrated that rather well on Saturday Night Live with William Shatner.
Oh,
Like he's supposed to know. When Janice Crater started sucking the salt out of your head,
it's like,
I don't know.
I don't even watch the show.
I knew Al Lewis from the Munsters, Grandpa Munster.
Yeah, Herman, you big dummy. Look what you did. You locked us in the bank vault.
Well, I actually knew him in real life, and I used to have dinner with him, and I said, did you ever watch, you like watching the Munsters? He said, I never saw one episode. He didn't. He was an NBA talent scout, and he discovered one Lou Alcindor, who became
Kareem
Abdul-Jabbar. And that, believe it or not, is...
yeah,
We're
so
going to be doing references from the 60s in just a minute.
I'm sorry. What do you want me to do, Snooki jokes? I got a great impression of her.
So you're hipper than I am.
These are the people I couldn't wait to get away from in high school, and now they're stars on television. Hey, where's my Emmy? So yeah, I guess we're Q&A in here because we'll just sit here and fart around.
Yes, we should have some cues.
Cues.
Hands high. Go ahead.
You, sir, in the front. You're one of the smart students, aren't you? Oh, have you ever done any impressions in front of the person you're impressing?
One time on Futurama, I met William Shatner years ago before Futurama. I met him on the Stern Show when I worked on the Howard Stern Show. And they said, well, you sort of know him, right? And I go, yeah, what, to call him up? No, but, and he lives up the street from me, he actually does. And he's
Hollywood.
He's in a higher hill, like way higher. And
Billy, could you get my trash cans on Thursday?
Yes, Mr. Shatner. There's a big S on your gate, too. Does that stand for Satan? Is that how many deals you had to make to have this longevity in your career? You pig! Everything's for you and nothing for anybody else? No, they told me to call him. Futurama wanted to get a hold of him. They said, why don't you call him? And I said, I don't know. So someone got me his phone number. And he was expecting the call. I called his house, and his secretary said, Mr. Shatner will be right with you. And I was going, what am I going to say to this guy? You know, it's like you think all your life what you're going to say to somebody like him. And he comes on and he goes, Mr. West. And I go, Mr. Shatner. So they want me to do an episode of Futurama.
At least you pronounced it right.
Yeah, and I said, I still say Futurama.
Oh, not Futurama.
You say vagina. And he said, I know they want me to do this character, but it's me. They don't want me to play Kirk. They want me to play me as the captain of the ship. I said, yes. And he was going, but did you read the script? That means he didn't. And he wants me to tell him. See, I know all the Hollywood tricks of these sneaky Hollywood celebrities. And I told him all about it, and he just liked it. And then he shows up with Leonard Nimoy.
Oh, he brought Leonard?
Do you remember?
I call him Leonard.
Yeah. You know, they were always like, behave yourselves when these guys come in, and I'm sitting there going,
Captain.
Captain.
Well, that's the thing. It's like you meet somebody like that. In answer to the actual question, if anybody remembers
well, I
what
did
it
do
was.
his voice in front of him. I'm not the greatest Shatner.
See, I've never met anybody that I've done impressions of.
Really?
Yeah, although because I used to do Chris Rock on Mad TV, you know, we did the
Don't tease
Chris,
him.
Chris Rock doing lullabies.
You gotta do it.
Lullaby, good night. Why'd your baby sleeping? But I still have yet to meet him, although my castmate Nicole Sullivan met him on a plane once, and she asked him, it's like, have you ever heard Phil LaMarr's impression of you? And apparently all he said was, I wish Phil LaMarr nothing but the best. It's like, Jesus Christ, it sounds like Pacino in Godfather 2. But I'm not dead yet, and apparently I'm still able to eat lunch in Hollywood, so he has not brought the hammer down.
I just hope I go quietly in my sleep. Yesterday was my birthday. And they were worried, like, when I came back to the show, they say, you're still going to be able to do this adolescent voice of the kid in the show? And I said, yeah, I don't think there's any problem. They said, yeah, but how old are you, like 58? And I go, yeah, I just turned 58. And so I had to do it all over to convince these suit guys, you know.
Man, all this constant exposure to radiation is making me thirsty.
Hey, Fry, I heard beer makes you stupid.
No, I'm doesn't.
So I think I can still do it. We have been doing it.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a second. Nobody doubted.
Look, you
That
got to kill
conversation
an
took
hour
place
here.
entirely in Billy's head.
Well, yeah, otherwise
we could ask
we
them
have
if
no
they have
reason to
any
be here
questions.
if I don't make up stuff. Yeah, there's got to be questions, real ones. I don't know. I don't think so. No, nobody wants to spend their money on things like that.
Did they ever finish the first one? Oh, wait, I have the DVD. Yes, they did.
They did. Well, the woman that I had a torrid bedroom scene with is at this convention, and it's Lori Allen is signing. Oh. Signing if you want to go meet the girl that I... She's really talented. She's amazing, and Candy Milo is here. Robbie Paulson's here from Pinky and the Brain. Yeah, these are all my pals.
Oh, yeah.
You feel free to applaud even though they're not here. I'll tell them.
I'll Twitter about it.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's the thing.
They applauded for you, Candy.
I don't Twitter.
Luke Skywalker.
To block.
The Geeky Wood Squares. Mr. LaMarr is my father. Mr. LaMarr is the guy who fills out my census forms. Yeah, that's a hell of an improv.
I'll be the galactic being.
There we go. I guess it.
They never called him God when Bender met God. It wasn't God, it was the galactic being.
Yeah, I guess we couldn't clear God. It was trademarked.
But this year we did. And he said, I'm a little pissed off at the Pope. Sorry.
That's
Boy, oh boy, I don't know what to make of any of it.
well, 'cause
It's not my
how
job.
would Samurai Jack go to? Samurai Jack met Fry? How about that?
Excuse me, young red-headed man. I am looking for the demon Aku, which has taken over the future.
My name is Fry.
It is good to meet you, Fry. Will you help me in my quest to fight evil?
Yeah, sure. Sup?
There you go. Now, does anyone have an Act 2 pitch?
This is so good it doesn't even need a third act.
Yeah, there you go.
We're gonna steal it.
Wait a minute. He just taped that. Well, I guess it's better than you trying to do it on YouTube. That way, at least we're still involved with it. Oh, wait! A question.
Yes, my hungover friend. How does your head feel? Like hot as a
I was joking about the Act 2 pitch. Sit down.
hot as a rivet.
Does anyone actually have a question?
No, he does.
Like
he
the-
does.
That's not a question. He said Green Lantern meets Larry from the Three Stooges.
Do you guys mind this? Because I'm open for anything. I don't care. I mean, I don't care if I fail. I don't care. I'm not afraid to die on
He's
stage.
not afraid to die.
I am not.
I'm deathly afraid. But
So you were the Green
but I'm here
Lantern,
with
though.
Glee. I was the voice of John Stewart, Green Lantern.
John Stewart, Green Lantern of Sector 2814.
Hey, are you the Green Lantern? I can't be sure because I'm colorblind, Mo.
Sir, quickly, get your hair down. We're having an attack from outer space.
Oh boy.
Listen, you numbskull.
Hey, don't call me that. I'm from Philly. Everybody that talks like this sounds like they have bad plumbing in their nose.
I don't know what else to say about Philly, except that everybody I knew from Philly had this, you know, and even George Jetson. The guy who played George Jetson was from Philly.
Oh,
And he had the
he's got
same
the same thing.
He had the same, you know. Oh, come on, Janie, honey. The cleaner's 500 miles away. It'll take an extra 5 minutes just to get there. George Jetson, everybody.
Soon to be a live-action major motion picture, I'm sure. Sing out, Louise.
With your work on Mad TV, have you taken any of the characters you invented on Mad TV into some of your animated voices?
Oh, that's a good question. Not technically, because those all belong to the producers of Mad TV. But if they've been an influence, you know what? For years, I've been trying to find an animated character that I could take the essence of the UPS guy character. There was a character I used to do called the UPS guy, and well, actually, I mean, he wasn't called the UPS guy. He was the UPS guy. I mean, his name was Jack, so he's called Jack because everybody would call him. We would call him Jack. But if they called him UPS guy, there would, be a lot of UPS guys, and a lot of guys would answer. But if you wanted to call him, you'd probably just call Jack, and then he would go, huh? Because there's always descriptions of like characters that sound like, well, he's kind of a dumb guy, but a lot of energy, and nothing has ever really stuck. So I don't know. You guys might know better than I do. Does any of my things sound exactly alike? You know, but consciously, I have not.
Yes.
Well, if I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, Billy. Matt Groening is not. I don't think he really cares about the numbers. I mean, the numbers are more dictated by the production people, the studio or the network. The people who are paying for it, determine the numbers. And it's usually, like a season for most animated shows is 13 episodes. Which is why you rarely wind up with exactly 100. It's always some weird mix. But supposedly, 100 is the magic number that means you can run it 5 days a week somewhere and have it, be enough that people don't go, I saw that yesterday.
But if you have 100 episodes, you can run them like on, Channel 5 at 3 in the morning.
Good, I'll take it.
Exactly.
3?
Wait, was there
He's on a mission, this guy over here. Excuse me. We had nothing to do with it.
Here's someone without a computer. Futurama was on Fox for 4 years. It got canceled. That means they stopped paying money for us to record it and for them to draw the pictures. Then those episodes were sold on DVD. You guys bought them.
Yes, thank you. That's what brought it back.
The foxes in the hen house smelled money and said, let's make more DVDs and see if they'll buy those. You did. And then...
you did again.
Yes. And then they just... Comedy Central saw how well they were doing running the reruns on their network. They said, why not run new ones? So starting in, June or July?
Comedy Central's
June 30th
promoting...
ish? 24th?
At 10 p.m.?
June 24th, new episodes of Futurama.
What's the lead in it?
Yeah, come June 24th, we're coming off break.
You can't be too hard on him because you suspended his disbelief at one point in his life.
No,
so.
as far as I know, he was not born when the show aired. So,
I had somebody come up and say, when I was 7, I was like, oh, thanks. No, really, when I was like 7, I couldn't believe the stuff I was hearing. And I said, that's kind of cool because I told this guy that, look, I met a lot of my heroes.
Did the first thing you say remind them of how old they are? When I was 4,
No.
you made me laugh so much.
No, I'll tell you, if you're interested, I'll tell you the Mel Blanc story.
Ooh.
Yeah, I met him once. He was,
He's the other guy who did Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, right.
I got paid in carrots for that gig, Doc. And I got to work with Michael Jordan, the closest thing to a religious figure that we have.
Yeah, but anyway, when I met Mel Blanc, it was like 1988. And I went to this old wooden hall, Clark University in Worcester, Massachusetts, and he was doing a voice and slide show, which meant he was going to show slides. Wow. I don't even know if people show slides anymore. But he was doing all his voices, and I couldn't believe it. There he is, the son of a gun. He's sitting there, and he's like 80-something. And so at the end of the show, he goes, if anybody wants to get an autograph, why don't you start a line over here? And I was like, I got up and I started body slamming people. I was checking little kids like like one of the Boston Bruins. Just get out of the way. And he yelled at me.
Really?
Yeah, he yelled. Well, I don't know if it was yelling, but he said, could you let the little kids go first? And I was like, But then when I finally got close to him, he was signing an autograph for a woman on this side. And I'm just standing over him while he's sitting there. And it's like one of those surreal moments where this guy had such a major impact in one's life. And I'm looking down his ear. It's that weird, awkward, like, it's Mel Blanc. And then you really get in the moment existentially, and it's like, I'm looking down Mel Blanc's ear. I thought I had died and went to hell. It was like, the, what do you call that painting there?
The Pieta? No,
yeah, that was me on the
Michelangelo.
bottom.
Michelangelo in the Sistine Chapel, right?
Yeah, I was on the bottom of that one. And, he was really nice, and I didn't bug him. But who would ever know that I would wind up doing that stuff? That's what's the weirdest thing about being in show business, I guess, is that one day you find yourself doing things that you never imagined in your life that you would do. And none of us really have a sense of entitlement. I don't expect anything. It's like if you want something to happen, you got to go out and make it happen and work for it. We're always willing to audition for anything. Someone said, why do you have to audition? Are you kidding me? After you're done with your gig, they forget all about you because there's 500 other guys that come along.
Well, that's every job in Hollywood is a temp job.
Yeah.
Anything you do. Like, I worked on Avatar. Guess what? It's over. Now you've got to go find another job.
That's right.
Although doing animation voiceover is, I think, a particularly great little corner of entertainment, because on one hand, you do get to be part of things that touch people's lives in such a huge way. Like, I remember I got to do a few Scooby-Doos. And, you know, yeah, it's one of those great shows that you remember from your childhood. And, you know, in one episode, I actually got to say the meddling kids line. And it was just like, you know, it was like, oh my God, I'm reaching from this point in time back to my childhood in such a special way. But at the same time, we're pretty much, you know, dispensable. You know, we can be replaced. So you can't get...
No. Didn't we prove that?
Well, I mean in an overall sense, in the sense that the voices aren't the characters. The voices are part of the characters, but
Right.
we don't, you know, the images, you have to work together, and you're very conscious that you're part of a collaboration.
Yeah,
You
it's
can't-
totally concerted.
You can't get full of yourself the way you can in a lot of other, you know, parts of entertainment. It's like, I'm the star. It's like, no. No one's just going to listen to a tape of you doing a cartoon character. You know, they want to see you. We're all just one part of Bring the World. You know, we're part of the team. So you get both of it. You get to be part of things that are magnificent and legendary, but you're also a working guy who's part of a team building something with a bunch of other people who work hard together. You know.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You're so funny physically when you discuss content. Is there any plan for you to go back to something like that, SNL or something like that? For you to be honest with you physically?
Well, that's a good question. Thank you. Thank you. I still do improv shows with the Groundlings, pretty, you know, every few months or so. And I'm trying to think, I've been doing comedy stuff on camera and some drama stuff as well. Done a couple episodes of the show Castle. Just the other week, I shot some comedy stuff on a Nickelodeon show called Big Time Rush, playing a villain. It's weird. I kind of still have a little bit of a block about going back to a sketch show. Although I think the burns are healing. But I mean, Mad TV was an hour-long show. We did, you know, 48 minutes of material a week and I did it for the first 5 years. It's a lot of work. And I remember the last season, one of the new writers came up to me and said, all right, so Phil, like, are there any characters or any ideas that you've always wanted to do, but you've never gotten a chance to do on the show? I'm like, no. You know, and also it might be a part of getting older. Like when I was younger, like anytime you'd be in a store and got a bad clerk, it's like, oh man, this is gonna make such a great sketch. And it's like, I'm the snotty clerk, you know? And maybe things don't get me mad as much anymore, or I don't get out as much, I don't know. But I don't get that impulse to like, boy, I'd like to take 3 minutes of television time to stick it to that person. Although it was good to have.
But look at the guys who commit to that, like Adam Sandler. You know, I'm ham under the arm man. You know, whatever he thinks of, he's that man. You know, and the guy with a ham under his arm and a diving flipper on one foot. I'm going to do that he does it for a whole movie. You know, it's like it works.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, I like him and everything, but sometimes you just think yourself out of stuff. I think a lot of times, like you'll do too much thinking. Somebody has
Right.
an idea of what you see. You know what you should do. And I always bugged you. I always thought there should be a Phil LaMarr show. I mean, I really did. Remember I said that years ago?
I remember.
I said, when is there going to be that? Any producers here? Oh, they watch YouTube.
Getting that's where they're spending all their money.
Yeah. Well, YouTube is becoming, they're starting to take stuff out that I was familiar, like that I would go to as my favorites, and they're starting to like, are they
Oh, you
casting?
mean it's not on YouTube anymore?
Yeah, somebody's taking it off.
Ah.
Is this are we about to be like charged now for
Yes.
having what we had for nothing?
Anybody, if they own the rights to something, can request
Right.
as obviously any YouTube search will prove. But they have to comply anytime they're a rights holder. That's why there was all that beef with NBC and MTV and
Uh-huh.
that led to lawsuits because like they have to. And it came up. Sorry.
No, no, no.
No, I'm listening to you.
Right. Well, I think what you're seeing, Billy, is two things. The mainstream media companies are becoming aware. It's like, wait a minute, our stuff's on that thing called the computer.
Those meddling kids.
Right, exactly. And the internet companies are trying to become more mainstream friendly. It's like, okay, look, CBS, we're not pirates. If you want us to, and so they're being a little more friendly. If they see something, it's like, okay, somebody just posted the Letterman show while it was on the air. We'll take it down.
Yeah. eBay just bought the Vatican, I heard that a few minutes ago.
It's just,
Yes. Yeah, that was deliberate.
Yeah, does it ever just happen to come out when you're having a conversation with like your cousin, your wife or something, just something snaps in your head and you go into something, or?
Gee whiz. That's the only voice I never wanted to use in a cartoon. Was
well, no, the answer to your question, yes, because I've talked to Billy and had voices just come at me like pies in a Three Stooges short.
Not always.
Just when you get going, when you're at peace.
We
It's like,
feel-
oh man, when this Pope gets,
But I know how talented you are, and I feel like fooling around, to get you going. I mean, I check myself when I'm talking seriously, like, about world stuff. Like,
that's true.
I used to think people were stupid when I was a kid. Now they're a million times stupider. Yeah.
Yes, there you just get Billy
Yeah.
with the real stuff.
Leave my health care alone.
But you don't have health care.
Oh,
Leave it alone anyway.
Leave it alone anyway.
Oh, multiple questions.
I don't even know why I'm mad.
Let's
I
go
wish I
to
was
the
in the land
YouTube
of
expert.
cotton.
Oh, wait, who was next?
YouTube expert.
It's kind of related to that actually. So I was thinking about how the way that the sort of voice acting industry evolved, and it was linked to professional recording studios that could sync up with film and all of that stuff. So there's lots of money involved, and as a result, like most of that money got siphoned out as it went through the system. Nowadays, really, either of you two could record like an entire list of cues or whatever at home and send them through an app. Like there's a website called SoundCloud, right, where you can like post it, you can control access, you can wait until somebody pays you money and then release it. You sign a contract. Do you know if there's anything like that? Like if any voice actors do anything like that?
Well, I mean, I think
I don't.
because what you're talking about in terms of just contextless voiceover doesn't really. That's what we do in terms of animation is really strictly contextual. The voices are tied to the images, are tied to the stories that are being told. So there's less of that.
So like in the past, there were only like huge companies that would make animation, right? Like now you have people who do flash animation and then they do their own horrible voices.
Do you know any good ones? Because I'd love to find somebody that was really fast,
We did work on it, and I tried my hand at it, and I was awful, and I will never try again. But like, if it was a possibility to pay somebody like you a relatively reasonable sum for a really small amount of work, like I would have absolutely been honored to do that. Right? I'm sure there are awesome animators.
I always wind up talking to somebody who can do me absolutely no good.
No, but
I understand what I'm saying. Believe it or not. I mean, when people say, hey, you get treated like the red-headed bastard stepchildren of the industry because they don't think we're actors. I mean, I've gone to premieres of movies I've been in, and they would say, the main theater. Yeah, we were invited. No, that's for the actors. Like on Space Jam, we couldn't go in the main theater and watch it. And
you had the ghetto seats?
yeah, I had to go to the tiny little theater next door, and you know what? I'm glad I did. Why would I want to sit with those people anyway? I mean, just like that's for the actors. This theater. Oh, it's swell, And then when the celebrities go to do voices, that's all they are as celebrities. They're no longer artists.
Well, now, come on. I think everybody in this room would pay a premium to hear Brad Pitt's voice. No, really?
Yeah, why don't they get my brother?
Hello, Jeffrey Katzenberg. You're wrong. No, I mean there are. Actually, wait. I wanted to finish. No, we finished that question, didn't we?
Yeah, we got off on another.
Yeah, the
oddball
celebrity.
abstract.
Because now I don't know if you guys realize this, but what we do, the television animation, is almost totally separate from animated features.
Yeah.
That's
In
why
other words, they don't call us.
No, in fact, they specifically don't call us,
I mean, not even for Penguin #2.
except for Jim Cummings. They love Jim.
Oh, I know they love Jim.
Jim's really good.
Disney has a hard-on for me or something. I don't know what it is. I guess I'm too psycho for them or something. No,
They're afraid you're going to take Mickey and just start yelling obscenities.
no. They bought Doug. I mean, Nickelodeon did Doug. And the good Doug. You know.
And as you may recall, it was a painfully average 11-and-a-half-year-old. And this is my dog, Pork Chop. And this is my friend, Roger Klotz. Hey, loser! Vote no on question 2. If you don't like it, write your congressman. Vote for this.
I didn't go with the Disney Doug, you know. They wanted too much, and they wanted too much voices out of me for what they were paying. And I lived in New York, and they said, well, you have to move to California. No, I'm not ready to move to California yet. You know, I was still doing the Stern Show, the devil's work.
That's right. But see, now what you're talking about in terms of technology, that wouldn't be a problem anymore. It's like because there's really no difference between being on the other side of the glass in a recording studio now and being on the other side of the country. Tom Kane, who's downstairs signing. Tom does the voice of Yoda in Clone Wars and thousands of other voices. We worked together on Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. He moved from LA to Kansas and still does voices. He's got a studio there, and you know, I mean, we hear him on the microphones like, and Tom's with us from Kansas, like, hey guys, hey Tom. How are
You sound like him. Tom Kane is also, he did some stuff on Powerpuff Girls. Wasn't he the professor
he was
or something?
the professor on Powerpuff Girls as well.
Yeah.
Enormously talented.
Go say hi to him. He's here. He's real tall.
Way in the back.
Sing out. Yeah. Oh no, that was just. Oh, did you already discuss that?
No.
There last year, before we started production on Futurama, there was a normal back and forth between the studio and the actors trying to figure out how much to get paid, and one of their tactical maneuvers was to put out a casting notice saying we're going to get new ones. And it worked just as well as it worked when they tried it with The Simpsons 10 years before.
I lied. I did talk about it.
Oh, okay.
No, but I was saying it doesn't matter if you're Tom Hanks. You still have to do an obscene, obligatory dance over money. I mean, it stinks. I mean, but you know what he did? Tom Hanks was so cool. They wanted him for a movie, and he liked the script and everything. So when it came time to talk about money, they insulted him with some horseshit offer. And so he said, "I have an idea," and he said, "Why don't you just give me a percentage of the figure you print in the paper?" And they went, hamna. You know, they didn't know what to say because
We can't give you the imaginary money.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
That's what the stocks are built on.
yeah. What are they going to do? They print 200 million the first weekend. They're going to tell Tom Hanks. Well, they pull their pockets out. Well, we didn't do that well.
The movie never made any money. What are we gonna do?
They still say to this day that Forrest Gump never turned a profit.
Let's go you.
First of all, Billy, I just wanted to literally say thank you because I'm like 23 years old, but you've done, and I know you've been one of the
When I was your age, I was 24.
so many characters that have had so many inputs to make me happy. Just truly entertaining. You truly are a talent.
Man,
I don't think you're recognized how truly you are.
Wait till he dies. We're gonna
I'll be so happy.
flags.
No, I know what you're saying. I mean, that means the world to me and Phil and anybody is that you were somewhere, USA, laughing and having a good time over something that we were doing. 30 miles that way? Where? Heard of it.
That's where they make fountains, right?
Yeah.
Spanish fountains.
One of the Star Trek writers came from Fontana. No, they came from D.C. No, that's... How abstract.
Rancho.
That means, in Spanish, Cucamonga Ranch. As our Spanish friends like to say. Oh, because I had been in the business so long that if you do really cartoony voices, there's always some whack job that can imitate it. You know what I mean? Because they become...
Usually a DJ from the South.
Yeah, right. No, I mean, there's always some stand-up comedian that doesn't want to work at Mr. Poo-Poo's Comedy Pot anymore, and he wants to get into cartoon work. So, you know, there'll be a guy that does impressions, and the thing is I said... Usually when a cartoon character is real broad, it's easy to grab a hold of something. And actually, I've heard plenty of people that really sound like some of them that were doing that. Hey, what do you think of, you know, I thought it was great. But as far as the kid in the show, I mean, he was the star of the show. And I said, I got to just do something that, it's real hard to imitate somebody's real voice. But it's not, I mean, it's me at 25 years old. So you know, I was stupid and I didn't know anything. What's your name? I don't know. You know. So, but I mean, it was me kind of younger. Yes. Yeah. I'm perfectly happy creating, you know, characters, and it's an honor for someone to bring you something that they worked real hard on and say, what would you do with this? I mean, I can't describe how it feels. It's an honor, you know. Because there's so many unbelievable artists and talented people. You know, you wouldn't really know it from the programming on television, you know. Like I said earlier, this Jersey stuff, you know.
I know, if only there was a channel for all the shows that have been canceled. It'd be like the most amazing, oh my God, everything on this is great! But there's only 3 episodes of each of them.
Right.
So strange.
There's only one reality show that they haven't hit yet. They haven't reached the point where it's like, you know, screw the 10 Commandments. Like, you know, like everybody in the episode has to break all 10 of them, like in a certain amount of time.
While living in a house with other people and everyone's numbered.
Yeah, you got to eat food out of other people's refrigerator and then have a fling with the wife and then insult your parents over the phone. You know, you don't honor your father and your money.
I'm gonna go sell that right now.
You can't? I know. It's like, why?
You think Oprah's channel would like that?
John Tesh, huh? What about that?
Dude, there are some images you can't get out of your brain.
I love that because it's like, just tell me. Even if you lie to me, tell me I'm better than Gail.
We got a
Just
couple,
tell me.
Time for a couple more questions.
Yeah, sorry.
You had one.
You do. Come on.
I don't.
Come on. All the expressions
Hermes
has.
I know. Well, see, that's the thing. It's like, I love all those expressions, but I can never remember them. Like, because like when I'm saying picture, like, oh, what's the? Yeah, wow, they're a lot harder to come up with than you think. Great Lion of Zion.
Yeah, that.
Well, that was the first one.
I love it.
That one I can remember.
Somebody tell him what he said so he'll do it for you.
Yeah, the my manwich thing. Somebody came up with the manwich thing after that episode had aired, and I was like, I don't even remember that.
Oh man!
But I do remember all of the rhyme, the animal rhymes. Wait, we had a whole busload of people like
just come in.
Did anybody from the back have a question? Oh, okay, never mind. Whatever.
They're waiting for who?
Yeah, George Lucas needs your attention. Oh, he already had one. What
Yeah, no, leave
just
some
so
for the rest of
dedicated.
us,
I
for
love it,
Christ's
though.
sakes. What?
He's just so dedicated.
Yes. Go on. When I first saw the pictures of Zoidberg, I had to go audition. There was a lot of people in that room. Some heavyweights like Ryan Stiles was there. I said, "Oh no, Ryan Stiles is here." Jesus, I didn't think I had a chance because the guy can, he's amazing to me. And they showed me these pictures, and Zoidberg. Sometimes you play with the type as it looks, like he's kind of rotund. So I figured he'd have a deeper voice, or sometimes you can play it totally against type and go with some high-pitched genderless voice. But what was funny was he was rooted in actually a fusion of a couple of show business periphery. One was a guy named George Jessel. He was a vaudeville comedian. Vaudeville was this thing that they used to do before there was television and movies and. But he was a performer, and he would do stupid jokes on stage, like pretending he was calling his mother. Hello, Mama? Yes, it's your son George. From the money each week? and then there was another guy named Lou Jacoby. He was from Yiddish theater. And he wound up doing so many things, but he was like the Alpine Lace cheese delicatessen owner,
You should all be Googling these names as we discuss.
Yeah, well, those commercials are still on there where he plays a deli owner. He goes, "I want you to eat Alpine Lace cheese because I care about what you eat. And you, and you, and you." And I thought, boy, these classic marble mouths. They all sounded like they had marbles in their mouth, and I thought...
Or tentacles hanging out of
Yeah,
their
well,
mouth.
since Zoidberg had all this cool meat hanging off his face, I said, well, you would have to have So it's like, young lady, bring me a sandwich from the dumpster. And leave the maggots on it.
All right, we got time for one more question. Let's make it good. I'm gonna go way in the back, actually.
Way in the back today.
No, the young lady. Yeah, you.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
It's Lady Deadpool. She doesn't speak.
No.
Good question.
No, it's a good question. There were a lot of people
Speak
there.
into the machine.
Yeah, okay. Dad. It's my Republican dad now. Do what you're told, don't ask why.
Answer the lady's question, William.
Yeah, the question, I went into audition for, I auditioned for Bender.
Did you?
Yes.
What did you do?
I did like
remember?
A man's man, like the brawny towel kind of guy, with a sonorous voice. And then John comes in, and what he did was brilliant because he sounded like a punch-drunk fighter. He sounded like Requiem for a Heavyweight. All I want is a shot at the champ. I want a shot at the champ. You are the champ. Oh. And I love the fact that he has to drink to stay sober. In a perfect world. Yeah, but I didn't audition for Fry originally because they hadn't made up their mind what they were going to do. And then they had me. Actually, I did read originally, and they chose somebody, and they went with them. And it, for some reason, didn't work out. And they said, we still have your audition tape. Do you want to do it? And I was like, gee, I don't know. You're Matt Groening, right? I was like thrilled to death. He says, I've heard a lot about you, and I said, yeah, I know a few things about you too. You're Matt Groening, which we hail because he's the coolest guy I ever worked for, to tell you the truth.
Yes.
Just he
The most
respects-
well-grounded billionaire I've ever met.
Yeah, because he's a hippie that sold vinyl records in a record store and drew comic books,
Well, I love the fact that, Matt has a comic strip called Life in Hell. that he has done weekly since before The Simpsons, before any of that stuff. And through all of the success of The Simpsons, Futurama, everything, he continued to do Life in Hell every single week, which just stuns me.
With the rabbit, and then Akbar and Jeff, right? Brilliant. Why don't they do a cartoon like that?
I don't think he'll let them.
No?
He wants to keep that one pure.
Yeah, they picked him clean the first time around.
All right, well,
So we having fun? Everybody having
that's
a
it. I
good
think
time?
we're all
Yeah.
well together. Yeah. The 501st is done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you guys for coming down.
We nailed it. I hailed him.